Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Today we've got a Xiaomi Mi 8. Now I know it's a bit of a beast of a review, so if you want to go to specific features of the phone or if you want to go to a specific part of the review, I've made some timestamps in the video description. So if you're interested in just the camera department, you can click that. If you're interested in audio, you can click that. Now, as usual, we're going to start with the unboxing just to show you what's in the box. Considering this is Xiaomi last year's flagship, I do realize that there is a Xiaomi Mi 9 now. It still makes a very decent value for money, especially when you look at it. I've bought this handset for £300 from Amazon Marketplace. So it's not that bad considering it's got a Snapdragon 845, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 120 gigs of internal storage. Now, do bear in mind that you can even get a 8 gig models with 128 gig, but this is what it is. You get a fast charger in the box and you also get the lead itself. However, there are no headphones, so that's that. But at least, you know, you are saving tons of money on the handset itself. The handset does support the USB Type-C, so that's nice. Now it is all glass front and all glass back with all the good and bad bits of it. Obviously it looks absolutely spot on, but in terms of being a fingerprint magnet, it's absolutely horrendous. Dual 12 megapixel system on the back, fingerprint sensor, LED camera, power button, volume up, volume down. The SIM tray, which actually houses 2 SIM cards. Then we've got a microphone Type-C and a lovely one bottom firing speaker. Obviously it would be better if you would have a stereo setup, but you can't have everything, seems like. And then we've got a front-facing camera, and then we've got the earpiece, and we've got the face scanner. It basically allows you to unlock the phone with your mug, with your face. Now, back in the days, apparently you had to set it up for an Indian country if you wanted to unlock the phone with your face. Luckily now I am in UK and I haven't changed the region, and it has been working pretty much spot on. So that's that. You do get a free case in the box, which is just a standard eBay style, AliExpress style $1 case, but it does its job pretty well. It does stop the phone from being slippery. It's not going to save it when you're going to drop it, but at least, you know, it looks decent. Now, let's start with the phone itself. We are now in March and the phone is running on Android Pie with MIUI 10.2 and Android security patch from February. So decent at that, considering it's a Chinese brand, not very known in Europe. I have to admit that it's actually on par with my XZ3, which is quite, to be honest, quite up to date in terms of updates. Other than that, let's cover different bits. So we've got the security status with the Find Device on. Then, like I've mentioned, the phone does support 2 SIM cards. You can even access dual 4G on both SIM cards. You can't tether from both SIM cards, so you can't have 2 hotspots. But at least it allows you to choose which SIM card you want to use as a primary, secondary, or if you want to use 4G from both SIM cards, which you can do. In terms of Wi-Fi, you do have Wi-Fi assistant and traffic mode, so it allows to adjust the traffic priority. Let's say there is a specific app that you want to use more data on Wi-Fi, you can set it up. As I said, you get a portable hotspot as well. No locks on that. However, obviously it has to be allowed by your carrier. So for example, if you're on Pay and Go with O2 in UK, you can't have a pocket hotspot. Anyway, Android Beam, lovely NFC is on the phone, so you can actually not only use Google Pay, but recently installed, yeah, it did download on its own, Mi Pay, which I haven't used yet. I've been using Google Pay, so yeah, that's that. In terms of this 6.21-inch gorgeous Super AMOLED display, you've got a good night's read, which allows you to use the phone in maybe not pitch black, pitch dark. However, when it is dark, it removes the blue hue from the display. Super AMOLED display, by the way, made by Samsung, and it makes your eyes feel less strained. On top of that, your brain doesn't think that you're actually it's a daylight or whatsoever. You do get the ambient display with the which is always on, or you can schedule it to turn it on or off. That's interesting. What just happened over there? I don't use that to preserve the battery life, but if you want to, you can do that. Obviously, as it is with the MIUI, MIUI, it's very highly customizable. You've got the double tap to screen to unlock to turn the screen on. You've got the lift to wake, which I think was first introduced with the iPhone 6s. And then you've got the do not disturb. So if you'd like to, you can turn it on. So within specific time frame, you won't get any phone calls or any interruptions. Do bear in mind though, it did happen to me a couple of times that if you've got a do not disturb mode on, let's say it kicks in at 8 o'clock in the evening, everything will cut off, including your music or whatsoever. So I was driving, I was listening to music using SatNav. After 8 o'clock, with the do not disturb kicked in at 8 o'clock, and all went off. And I was like, "What's going on? What has actually happened?" And yeah, it turns out that do not disturb kicked in, and it actually shut down everything. You can obviously, if you'd like to, you don't have to turn do not disturb off. You can just adjust the volume. But yeah, I think that's the first phone that has actually been doing that. So on my Sony XZ3, when I was pressing, when Do Not Disturb kicked in, the music was still playing. Now you've got a couple of shortcuts in here. So you've got search and settings. You can change that cogwheel from the drop-down menu in top to a search bar. Then you've got this cleaner bit. Now, because it's pre-installed by Xiaomi, you can't actually, as you can see, remove that bit from there. So yeah, that's a bit too much, like, you know, MIUI taking over the whole system. So, you know, it would be better if you could turn off what you want, what you don't want turn on to turn off. Then you've got this bit, which is called App Vault. I don't kind of tend to use that, but if you like to, you can. Then you've got the show memory recent, so you've got the shortcuts in here into deep clean and cleaner again. You don't really need that cleaner, especially in the notifications bar and then in the multitasking bit as well. So if you'd like to, you can turn it off. However, it will prompt you every now and then that you need to clean up your memory, you need to clean up your internal storage. Not sure why it does that, but yeah. And you can't turn it off. Then we've got the gestures. So we've got the full screen display. So if you slide from the left hand side of the screen, it goes back. If you slide from the bottom, you've got the Google search, and so on, so on. If you slide again, it goes back to the middle. Now, as you can see, it works pretty well. It kind of emulates the gestures from the Pixel, the stock Android experience. It works pretty well. It's just I prefer to have normal buttons on the bottom. I'm just like that. I'm just old school. So yeah, it is what it is. And luckily you do have an option, you do have a choice, so you can leave it like that, or you can change the buttons to buttons if you like to. Then you've got a full screen mode, so if you'd like to, you can get the apps to kind of work with that huge gigantic notch, which some companies seem to embrace, the other ones don't, and this is the fragmentation of an Android, unfortunately. So you've got a notch, you've got the teardrop or water drop notch, you get a cutout, you get a normal notch, you've got a bigger notch, smaller notch, and then you've got all these apps that have to kind of adhere to that. Now with the MIUI 10, you cannot hide the notch. The actual feature is gone. Before I've upgraded to Android Pie, it was there in the display. You could put a black bar and it hides the notch. Unfortunately, it's a no-go currently. Maybe Xiaomi will bring it back. Yeah, in terms of privacy, for example, you can set the apps Oh yes, that's a big one. MSA. Apparently you should turn it off if you don't want any ads on your phone. Now, I didn't have any ads on this handset. However, I did press a couple of times multitasking button and it seemed like there was an ad for a split second. Now I'm going to plug in the headphones just to show you how the Mi Sound equalizer works, but also I'm going to plug in the actual speaker because that actually, the type of headphones changes the audio output. I know it sounds weird, and it is, but yeah, have a listen in a second and you'll see for yourself. We're going to test the speaker, the one mono speaker, and then I'm going to test the kind of headphones speaker a bit. So yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? What else have we got in here? 100 mode, which allows you to adjust the size of the 100 screen as well. As you can see, like I said, the MIUI is very highly customizable. It's been 10 minutes into this review and I'm still covering the other app I'm going to cover in a second for transferring files, not data, but files. App lock allows you to lock an app with a PIN code or a password if you'd like to. So if you don't want anyone being nosy, not noisy, nosy, and going to your gallery, you can lock it with your PIN code. Then you've got the booster settings. I would highly recommend ticking off clear cache out of it, because if you play a game or something and you get a notification and you read that notification and you go back to the game, it force closes everything in the background, so you have to start again. It did happen to me a couple of times. Really annoying, especially when you're playing, let's say, PUBG, you get a notification. You click that because you want to reply, and then you go back to the game and, yo, where is everyone? Everything's gone. Unfortunately, your game has been force closed. Then you can record the video. Well, you can record what you're playing. You can take screenshots. You can lock the buttons, or you can press the boost mode, which actually I haven't noticed making any difference. You press the boost mode, but considering it's a Snapdragon 845, 6 gigabytes of RAM, I mean, PUBG runs flawlessly, and so does every single other game I've played on the phone. So yeah, maybe in the future you might need that, but not really now. You can obviously add additional apps, so if the phone doesn't recognize an app, it doesn't put it into the Xiaomi games. You can add the apps manually so they can benefit from the performance. So yeah, as you can see, there is no app drawer, so it actually works pretty nice with all the games in one place. Then you've got this boost speed and data usage bit, clear RAM and all that jazz. I have not been using that at all. I haven't been clearing RAM or any apps from the background, and the phone has been working. You even have a first aid. Wow. Um, it, it, it just works. It just works. You don't have to do any of these. It's just unneeded bloatware that comes pre-installed on the phone. However, you do get like screen record, audio recorder, and that's Mi Drop. That's the bit that allows you to transfer files between other Xiaomi devices, or even Android devices. Doesn't work with iOS, unfortunately. So yeah, you can drop the files using Wi-Fi direct without any Bluetooth connections or anything like that. You don't need wireless connection. Now, the phone comes with a normal camera, and you can even install Google Cam, Gcam for short. It works very well. I'll show you the pictures at the very end of the video taken by both Xiaomi and Google Cam. Now, the Google Cam portrait mode doesn't work on objects. It only works on human beings. That's a bit of a downer because the portrait mode in the Pixel 2 XL I used to have was absolutely amazing, but everything else works absolutely spot on. And in my opinion, some of the pictures are taken better with the normal camera and the others with the Google Cam. But which ones are they? I'll let you decide at the very end of the video. You've got the AI mode on. Everyone nowadays has an AI mode on. It does its job pretty well. So if you point it towards, let's say, a human being, it's gonna suggest you should use portrait mode. In a low light conditions, it's gonna turn night mode on, which you can also force manually, as you can see yourself. Then you've got the manual mode, panorama. There's a lot that you can change in manual mode. However, it does not work in video. The good news is the phone does support Camera to API, which means that you can actually download and install Filmic Pro on the Xiaomi Mi 2, which is, my opinion, is an absolutely amazing app to use. And the only other phone that actually allowed me to download and install Filmic Pro was Google Pixel 2 XL. I can't get it on my X3. I couldn't get it on a Note 8. On a Note 9 it worked, but it didn't, the autofocus didn't work. And in here, everything works just spot on. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Considering again the price of the phone, like you pay $1,000 for a Note 9, and it doesn't work as intended because it's locked by Samsung, but you pay 300, 400 pounds for a flagship phone from China that's supposed to be crap, but it's absolutely amazing and allows you to use anything you'd like to. Yes, that's why I love it. It's actually really impressive. I'm really impressed with the handset itself, especially the camera, which even comes with optical image stabilization. The phone supports USB OTG, so you can connect a mouse, you can connect a keyboard, you can even connect a pen drive, hard drive, whatever you'd like to. I mean, for the price, it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. I know it's been a beast of a review, but the phone does have a lot of features to cover, and I haven't even covered everything out of it. So let me know what you think about it, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye.